He's being hunted by a torpedo. I'm going by 2 torpedoes. I'm going to watch him. This could be interesting. He's got 2 tigerfish on his
Con sonar,
ass.
noisemaker, bearing 1.
Hey, we got him. We
0.
got 1. The Royal Navy 1. US Navy 0. Good morning, welcome back to coldwaters.mod, and welcome to a wargame type scenario. Today I am going to be pitting the Trafalgar class, the most modern Royal Navy submarine in the game, and this is the 2000s version, so it's even more modern than the already modern, I think it's the late Trafalgar class. Zip to that there, yeah, the late one, which itself is even more modern than the just the Trafalgar class. So we've got the most modern Royal Navy boat, and we're going to be putting that up against a Seawolf class. What could possibly go wrong? Okay, let's go ahead and hit accept here. What I'm going to do is, what we in the Triumph, Sierra 93, S93. Okay, great, let's accept that. Now we are just north of Iceland. Let's look at my status report. What weapons have I got? A bunch of Spearfish, Moss, and some cruise missiles. I don't need the cruise missiles, but I shouldn't need to replace them with anything else. What I am going to do is just get a Moss loaded into my 5th tube. Just in case, for whatever bizarre reason, I may need to counter something. Now, the last thing we're going to do is a little bit more interesting. I'm going to put it down to 10,000 yards. Now, this may not make that much of a difference, because I think .mod does some weird things with the distance, but I'm going to do it anyway because, hey, I want to get right on top of this guy, or at least have something of a knife fight in a phone box. And if you're young enough to not know what a phone box is, then don't tell me about it. Okay, this could go one way or the other extremely quickly. And I don't know how well the Royal Navy's finest is going to work. So let's jump in.
On sonar, new contact, bearing.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
So I'm immediately going to... oh, hello.
Con sonar, new contact, bearing 141, designated Sierra 2.
So, engagement rules, or rules of engagement. Really, just no spamming torpedoes. So, I don't know where he is. He doesn't know where I am. And just not going to fire a torpedo. You know, I've got 16, I could fire one every clock face. So that's number 1. Number 2, I'm actually below the layer, so I get myself above.
0 feet, dive by.
No pushing F2 to try and determine what a contact is. So F2 essentially just shows you what if the sound is coming from the surface or otherwise. Now I've only told the game to give me one submerged enemy contact. I haven't gone down the route of, or what if there are more? So everything else I encounter should be a civilian, or a cargo, or a freighter, or something like that, like a trawler. So I don't know what this is. Now this is probably a trawler, because the Andizan has got a similar signature to a trawler. I don't think it's a fucking...
Con sonar, new contact, bearing
that's interesting.
194, designated Sierra 3.
That looks like it's a Seawolf. It is.
Con sonar, Sierra 3 is classified as submerged submarine.
Right, I'm going to turn away from this guy.
Come
get
right
my,
to 268.
he's maybe making a lot of noise. But I want to get my towed array to get a better signal on him. It looks like he is... he's making tons of noise. What's going on? Okay, I didn't expect that. I was intent on identifying the other... Oh, I wonder why. I was intent on identifying the other targets on the surface, and we may yet do that. We're actually still heading up. He's diving deep. He's diving aggressively. So I don't... Maybe he's detected me first, which was likely.
Upscope.
Alright, this should identify what's on the surface. Should, maybe.
Con sonar, master 1 is classified as...
Lower the radar mast.
I'm going to go ahead and dive.
Helm left 2, 164, helm I.
What I'm not going to do is crash dive. I'm going to just let the boat just...
Make depth 984 feet. Dive I.
I don't necessarily need to dive, but I do want to get closer to his depth. It gives my torpedoes a slightly easier time of it. Let's look at the Seawolf. Let's look at the Seawolf together. Okay, so it's 9,000 tons of American Navy's finest. 105 decibels. It's extremely quiet. It's quieter than me. I'm 110. It's very well equipped. I can do 35 knots and can carry a whole stack load of weapons. I think its carrying capacity is 48. And he can dive as deep as me, so he can go down to nearly 2,000 foot test depth. Great. That's really what we kind of... We wanted something that was a fairly fair
Come
challenge.
right 2, 184, helm I.
And looking at myself, I'm, wow, not even half the size. Well, I'm a little bit more than half the size. I'm slower. 32 versus 35 knots. I have, I make more noise. Wow, more crew on board. Yeah, so...
Con, helm, steady course.
1968. Is he also 1968? Come on. Okay, he's very close to that trawler. At least we think he is. Yeah, so we got the same depth. Towed array, right? It doesn't give me any. Oh, so sensitivity is 54 passive sonar. So what's mine? Okay, same quality. It would appear. We should be more or less comparable. And of course, the more or less, that's what we mean by more or less. You know what? Maybe we aren't comparable. I don't want to fire something off at him. So I really want to get that a little bit closer. Although he may not hear it if I did. He's possibly moving. I was going to say maybe he's moving at 10 knots, but he's not. He's moving at 5. All right, let's accelerate time and let's see what happens.
Con sonar lost contact.
Huh.
Sierra 3, last bearing 185. Contact faded.
Con,
Okay.
dive at 984
Right,
feet.
so-
Dive I.
What's he doing? He's gone up to 20. He went up to 20 knots there. He's going deeper. I'm going to go deeper too. Now
Make depth 1312 feet. Dive I.
the Spearfish is a great weapon. It's faster than a Mark
Come left
48,
2, 170, helm I.
but its
Con, helm, steady course.
range is a bit limited. It doesn't have the legs of a Mark 48. I'm going to try closing the distance to see how well this works.
Con, dive at
Make turns for 10 knots. Maneuvering I.
I immediately lost him. Okay. This is a little dangerous. If I don't know where he is, and I'm making a ton more noise, that's not so good. So let's get back
rig
down
ship
to
for ultra quiet.
ultra quiet. Right.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 3, bearing 181.
Okay, we reckon he's 8,000 yards and he's slow to 3 knots, so I'm going to suppose he's listening. Well, we don't think he's got his towed array out. Or he's heading right towards me. Because it... And he's not. He's neither. Okay. I do not want to get too close to this guy. He's extremely dangerous. He's like me. He's
Come
like my
right
boat.
214, helm I.
And he's,
Con, helm, steady course.
and he's turning a bit towards me. Alright, so plan of attack here. What's his depth? He's gone deeper. I could launch and then essentially head to above the layer. That will help hide me a little bit, but probably not enough. And I have to get up there to that depth, which is going to be noisy. Or I'm a long way from the surface. I could run deeper. I could run deeper than him and fire from the depths of the ocean. But I still suspect he's going to get a shot off at me, and that's when it becomes very dangerous. I mean, it's a real challenge being able to evade a Mark 48. I can just head right at him, and by doing so, I won't necessarily need my towed array until at least he changes course or maybe slows down. And see if that helps. When it comes to firing a weapon, in the ideal world, one torpedo will do, but I'm probably going to fire one, and then I'm going to immediately fire a second one a few seconds behind. The hope there is that you keep him busy. Now, if I'm able to, I'll put one torpedo to attack from one side and one torpedo to attack from the other. The reason for doing that is it makes it that much harder for him to evade. All of these little tactics and tricks is exactly what he's going to do too. Now, part of me thinks if I aim my nose right towards him, he's going to get a lower sonar return. So if you look at the computer at the bottom right of the screen, what that shows me.
Come left to 169 Helm I.
So the contact number, LF active, low frequency active, that's his active sonar. If he pings me, he's going to get 35 decibels back off me. Now by turning towards him, I'm hoping to reduce that. I did by 1. Not that impressive so far. And that's because we're presenting a smaller profile to him. And the idea there, down to 34, but it's not enough that he wouldn't detect me. He's 5,000 yards. He's extremely dangerous at this range. Both of our torpedo weapon systems are just unpleasant at the best of... He can now hear me. He's just put his towed array out. Right, I'm getting mine. I'm pulling mine in.
Come right to 263 Helm I.
I'm getting ready to do some evasive action here. I'm going to fire the torpedoes on his side. So my port side. He may not. He may not have detected me right now. I just got a bad feeling about this. His towed array went up to 10 decibels, and that's what you need to be able to detect someone. Now you can hear someone if it's less than 10. His passive sonar's getting nothing on me. Why is that? Well, maybe our passive sonar is better quality. Now when I fire a torpedo, regardless of which tube is firing, he is going to know and he's going to counterfire immediately. So I'm pretty much going to have to counterfire, or fire rather, one torpedo. I got to delay the second one. I got to run my speed up to try and get out of the way. He's going to be able to wire guide these. And try and anticipate where he's going to be. It's a challenge. Yeah, he can now hear me at 10 decibels. His sonar operator will be...
Con, helm, steady course.
Of course, they're expecting me like I'm expecting them. As soon as I bump my speed up, we're going to lose situational awareness of where he is. Although he may start pinging. Okay, I think we are just about where I want to be. Here goes nothing, so reckons he's going to be here. Oh, the point of interception is this little blue circle here. But he's going to lightly turn, possibly turn away from me, or possibly turn towards me. So I'm going to go ahead and fire the first torpedo here. And if I lose the wire immediately, which does happen, then that torpedo is going to go live roughly midway between us, maybe 60% of the way there. Let's go ahead and do it.
Shoot 2-1. Aye, sir.
He immediately...
Make turns for 1.
Con sonar, launch transient
There
from
goes-
Sierra 3.
There goes his counter launch. And I'm going to fire a Moss right at him. No, I'm not. No,
Con,
I'm not
maneuvering,
actually.
Making turns for
I lost the
1,
bloody wire.
5 knots.
Dang it. That's annoying. Okay. I don't know what he's going to be doing now. Oh, we know he's accelerating, so let's go ahead and get, I guess, another torpedo here because, hey, it's all broken.
Shoot tube 2. Aye, sir.
And for the sake of it, we're going to do another one. Yeah.
Shoot tube 4. Aye, sir.
I'm going to make this one live. Like so. And I'm now going to make like a tree and get out of here.
Make turns for 3, 2 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Yeah, I'd forgotten about how the tiger fish will just follow a moss, just regardless of whatever you do. I've just lost the wire, but that's okay.
Con sonar lost contact. Master 1. Last bearing 2.
Come left 2, 1.
I'll try something a little
turns for
different.
2, 0 knots.
I'm actually going to
Make
head...
turns for 3, 2 knots. Maneuvering aye.
I think what I want to try and do is head kind of towards this
torpedo room, tube 1 ready.
this torpedo. Let's see if we can detect him. Yeah, we can see him. Same depth as me. I'm going to head down to the deeps. I don't know how well this is going to work. He can actually... that's not good. If I switch to my view, making a ton of noise, and I'm going to see the torpedo somewhere out there. I'm going to get down deep.
Con sonar.
Passing 1,800 feet.
Switch back to my view.
Passing 1,900 feet.
Turning a little bit more towards... I want to get underneath this torpedo before it goes live. We may have to... Oh, it's so close. This is going to work. Let's switch back to the map view. We may have done it.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Ultra quiet, here we go. Let's turn off ultra quiet so I get
Con
to...
sonar. Noisemaker bearing 1, 2, 7.
Con,
Okay.
fire control, weapon countermeasure homing.
Okay, this may have worked. I can't...
torpedo room, tube 2 ready.
Couldn't see my
Con
torpedo.
sonar regained con.
Come right 2, 2, 3, 2. Helm aye.
He's being hunted by a torpedo. I'm going by 2 torpedoes. I'm going to watch him. This could be interesting. He's got 2 tiger fish on his...
Con sonar.
Yes.
Noisemaker bearing 1.
Hey, we
2,
got him. We got
0.
1. We've wounded him. But he's still going, I think. No, he's actually down.
Con, maneuvering. Making turns for 5 knots.
Yeah, I'm sorry everyone, I was
Come
looking
right
around.
2, 7, 0. Helm aye.
Well, I did not
Make
expect
turns
that.
for 1, 5 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Switch back to him. Yeah, so he is down. And... it only took...
Passing 1,900 feet.
Con sonar lost contact. Master 2. Last bearing 1, 2, 7.
Passing 1,800 feet. Con, torpedo room.
Con, helm. Steady course.
Passing 1,700 feet.
Make turns for 1, 0 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Okay.
Make depth 4, 0.
Con, maneuvering. Making turns for 1, 0 knots.
What I'm doing right now is getting up to periscope depth. It's possible that my tigerfish will circle around the Seawolf and decide that there's a much better target that they can detect somewhere else. So by heading up towards the periscope depth, I'm putting myself above the layer. And hopefully, in the unlikely event that a tigerfish were to hunt me, I will... I'll be out of its sensor range. Well, that actually went way better than I thought. It felt like a risky move turning towards a Mar 48. You do not want to get detected by one of those bad boys, especially at close range. If it can see you, it's agile enough that it's going to get you. But ultimately I had stacked 3 tigerfish up against the Seawolf, and one of them bit it, and that was all it needed. So I'm going to call this one a success. the Royal Navy 1, US Navy 0. And now I'm going to set up a scenario. I'm going to do the opposite. I'll be in a Seawolf up against the Trafalgar. And let's see how well we work. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. This time we are in the Seawolf. And I've set up the 2000s era Trafalgar. Let's go ahead and check my status report. So I don't need harms. I don't need cruise missiles. And I don't need these cruise missiles. So I've got fewer Mark 48s. I've only got 12 on board. Okay, and 4 Mosses. But yeah, my stores are 48 and I'm only half capacity. So I'm going to go ahead and just hit it. If I used 3 Tigerfish last, Spearfish, not Tigerfish, goodness me. Oh, hello. What's this? That's fine. Right? Okay, great.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Right.
Make depth 9 feet, dive I.
I'm going to go ahead and equip or get these torpedoes configured for submerged contacts. And let's see what we can detect. Contact here. What is this? I'm heading again to periscope depth. The intention is to pop my sensors up. If this is not my contact, I want to identify it. And then the crew will keep track of what it is. If we lose it and reacquire it, it'll tell me it's a trawler, a freighter, or a rowing boat, or a dinghy full of something. Whatever it is, it'll tell me. So we want to see what this is. Right. Well, it's not my target. This is what my target should look like, and it's not that. Okay, so we're almost at periscope depth. Wow. Get my words out. It's a challenge. Let's see. There we go. I think we can go ahead and deploy.
Raise the radar mast.
Okay. So, what is it?
Con sonar, Master 1 is classified.
Lower the radar mast.
It's a trawler, and it's no surprise. The fact that we can't detect him yet is not the greatest news in the world.
Come left to 176, helm I.
Make depth 1312 feet, dive I.
Didn't expect the Brits to be quite so quiet.
Con sonar, new contact bearing 234, designated Sierra 2.
Why are you pinging me, Sunshine? What is going on? Why are you pinging me? That's a Trafalgar.
Con sonar, Sierra 2 is classified as.
What are these Brits playing at? That's not the first time that's happened either. Well, I don't like the look of this. I mean, I'm guessing he's really
Con
close.
sonar, launch transient from Sierra 2.
I wasn't looking at the screen. I don't know where that is.
Come left to 139, helm I.
Passing 300 feet.
Okay, so I'm now defensive. I don't know where. I know the compass point the torpedo's coming at me from. I don't know anything else. I guess we're just going to have to get something off.
Shoot 2-1. Aye, sir.
Along the same intercept course, and I'm going to make this thing live pretty quick. And I'm actually going to turn
Come
directly
left to
east.
091, helm I.
I did not expect this. I didn't think that. I thought they would be sneaky, but apparently not.
Con sonar, launch transient
Okay.
from Sierra 2.
He's back down here, so that's
Passing
okay.
500 feet.
Let's go ahead and get a couple of Mosses loaded. If the Spearfish is as sensitive to the Moss as for the AI as it is for me, that's good news.
Passing 600 feet.
He's running. I mean, he's running from me. He's got me defensive and he's running. So at least I can tell my torpedo, hey, track this direction. He can do 32 knots, so he's on his way up to
Passing 700 feet.
top speed. Go ahead and just neutralize my descent right now. I do need to get my speed up. Let's go up to 15 knots. This tigerfish is going to make a mess of me.
15
Also, it's a
knots.
spearfish and
Maneuvering
not a
eye.
tigerfish, and I keep getting that wrong. It's very annoying, very embarrassing. Actually, for the sake of it, let's get my towed area out.
Making turns for 15 knots.
Let's turn a little. Let's put myself
Con, torpedo room, tube 4 ready.
perpendicular to the anticipated course of the incoming spearfish, and see if we can detect it. We can't right now. That's again a little worrying. That. I think I want to get a moss off though. I probably should have got my depth up, because the moss will give away my depth. But hey, it's fine.
Shoot tube 4. Aye, sir.
Right, let's get a moss off. Let's drop to 10 knots,
Making
5
turns
knots
for
even.
5 knots. Maneuvering eye.
What do you need to know where this spearfish is? Oh, he's coming right at me. Okay, that's
Come
Well-
right to 264. Helm eye.
there's a second one coming right at me. Okay, I need to make like a tree. I gotta get up to speed. This
Make
is.
turns for 5 knots. Maneuvering eye.
I know how effective these spearfish are, and I don't want to be. Well, I've seen it firsthand what they do to a seawolf. I do not want to be in its sensor path, but I'm gonna try and.
Con, torpedo room, tube 8 ready.
I'm going to try and follow my moss at this depth. This is a very risky strategy, because if this spearfish goes live in the next few seconds, and if it were my spearfish and I were
Con, fire control. We've lost the wire.
able to, I would make it live right now.
Con, helm, steady course.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put a marker here so I have an idea where this guy is. I'm going to lock the map to my view, zoom in a
Con,
little
sonar, torpedo in the water, torpedo in the water. Bearing 2,
That answers
3,
that, then.
4.
bit. Okay, it's going for the moss, but that does not mean it's not going to go for me. Dive, dive, dive. Yeah, there we go. Okay, switch to my external view. Oh, wow. I'm dead. Huh. And his buddy will be along in a second to take care of me as well. Alright, well, that's 2-0 to the Royal Navy. Huh. Didn't expect that. The you chaps in the US Navy ought to do something about that. That's a bit embarrassing. Of course, it's also me not knowing how to fight the Seawolf. Right, well, I'm going to go ahead and pause it. Let's have a rematch. Oh, let's just watch this second spearfish come and attack me. Yeah, well, at least we have a second escape hatch now. I'll be back. Okay. This time, we went for something a little different. We're in a Virginia class. That is the follow-up to the Seawolf. It's not as expensive as a Seawolf, and it's not as well equipped. So we just have 4 torpedo tubes, and we only carry a total of 26 for our torpedo stores. We do have a vertical launch system. I don't need these weapons, and there's a good chance they'll sink with me. Let's just put it that way. So I'll get rid of those, but I'm not going to change the Moss and the Mark 48 load. Though I am going to no, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it as it stands. I guess I can't get rid of this. Okay. Right, so 12 torpedoes and 2 Mosses. Doesn't seem like a lot, but let's hit it. And I also realized, I think last time I didn't put myself down to 10,000 yards. I'm going to do so this time. So this is going to be a challenge. But yeah, that spearfish, that was lethal.
Con, sonar,
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Okay, let's got myself ultra quiet, got my towed area out, switch back to map view. What have we got? Nothing. Okay, let's head to the surface, I suppose. Oh, we're above a duct. I want to see if there's anything on the surface I need to be aware of.
Con, torpedo room, VLS is empty.
Yeah, there's not. So I could just fire that off, but that would be a very foolish thing to do because it would just give away my location.
Passing 100 feet. Make depth 42 feet. Dive I.
So far what this has shown me is that I need to do better driving the Spearfish equipped submarines.
Upscope. New radar contact. Bearing 262.
I mean, he sounds Russian, so surely he's a bad guy. Is that the East German flag? So I just want to take this guy out and just make this a bit of a bigger challenge. I mean, yes, I kind of want to take this guy out, but no, because it's not really the point of today's mission. But then, is this even capable of attacking it? Oh, it is. I mean, okay, I'm going to regret this.
Fire VLS.
Downscope.
But now, come at me.
Come left 2, 2, 3, 1. Helm I.
Con
It's
sonar,
cavitate.
we are cavitating.
Yep, I know.
Con sonar, no longer cavitating.
We're making a whole bunch of noise.
Passing 100 feet.
Let's watch this this weapon. Okay,
Con maneuvering. Making turns for 15 knots.
I think we can pretty much guess what this thing is.
200 feet. Passing 300 feet. Passing 400.
Make turns for 5 knots. Maneuvering I.
All right, so Sierra 2 is going to be the
Passing 500 feet.
Royal Navy. I recognize the sonar return pattern, but let's just double check that.
Passing 600 feet.
It's pinging me. What else can it be?
Con sonar, Sierra 2 is classified as submerged submarine.
Just watch my cruise missile
Passing
attacking.
700 feet.
Yeah, I know it was a mistake to to attack this guy, but I think it was worth
Passing
it.
800 feet.
And he's burning on the horizon. There we go. So now my plan is to get myself out of trouble. He's coming right at me, I think.
Con sonar, launch transient from
That-
Sierra 2.
Would point to that, so I'm going to go ahead and fire.
Shoot tube 1.
I'm also going
Come
to get out of
left
here
2, 2, 0.
at best speed.
Make turns for 5 knots. Maneuvering I.
I don't want to mess around here. Let's get myself down to depth.
Passing 1100 feet. Make depth 1969 feet. Dive I.
Make this torpedo. I want to make it live now. I mean, potentially 12,000 yards away. It's got the legs. I'll let it go live in just a little bit. So the plan.
Fire con.
There we
Helm.
go.
Steady course.
No, I can't. Let's get a Moss loaded. Okay, so we're going deep and we're going defensive. This thing accelerates beautifully, the Virginia. I guess that's its advantage. Is it's quite a bit smaller than the Seawolf. It's wow. This thing is. I wouldn't say a sports car, but yeah, look at it go. This does mean I can't fire a Moss right now because I'm doing more than 20 knots. Or can't. If I fire a Moss at this speed, I'm probably going to destroy the torpedo tube, so I don't really want to do that. I'm driving perpendicular to the anticipated course of the incoming Spearfish, and there may be two. I think I only heard one. What we want to do is lock my camera, the map view, to me. What I want to do is get out of its sensor scope. Now, I fully expect the Trafalgar is wire guiding it, and he is 12,000 yards. Okay. He's going to be wire guiding it, so I don't want to slow down and verify that.
At 1969 feet. Dive I.
But I think what I maybe want to do is get up to 600 feet, fire the Moss, and then get back down to depth.
Con maneuvering. Making turns for 3.
Passing 1900 feet.
Yeah, this thing
Con sonar, launch transient from Sierra 2. Con sonar, launch transient from Sierra 2.
what's my test depth?
Passing
16.
1600 feet.
Okay. I shouldn't have gone that.
Passing 1500 feet.
Ooh, I shouldn't have gone that deep.
Come left 2, 1, 0, 0. Helm I.
I may change my...
sonar, noisemaker,
Passing 1,200 feet.
Come left to 081. Helm aye.
con sonar,
Passing 1,000 feet.
I'm changing my mind about firing off a Moss.
Passing 900 feet.
This torpedo is...
con sonar, regained contact on Sierra 2, bearing.
Con, helm, steady course.
is worryingly close. I can't detect him, but I got a pretty good idea of where he is. He's here.
Con sonar, noisemaker, bearing.
Come left to 025. Helm aye.
At least this Trafalgar's coping with my own Mark 48, but I don't know where his torpedo is. And it's making lots of noise and moving very quickly.
Con, helm, steady course.
Okay. It's behind me, so I've managed to dodge that bullet. Let's go ahead and get down to 20
Back
knots.
emergency, maneuvering aye.
And fire off a
Make
Moss.
turns for 20 knots, maneuvering aye.
Let's get back up to
Make turns for 35
35 knots.
maneuvering aye.
We're going to head a little bit more. We're actually going to head north.
Come left to 000. Helm aye.
I don't know where my Mark 48 is in relation to
Con,
him.
helm, steady course.
And I don't know where his second Spearfish is, other than it'll be heading in my direction. I know that much. But I'd love to get a kill on the Trafalgar and on the Russian cargo ship, just to say that, hey, you can in the Virginia. I'm tempted to drive closer to the Trafalgar as well. This thing is so nimble. And then again, that's how you eat one to the face. He's actually turned away though and running away, so...
Con, knuckle formed.
we will actually drive towards him, I think. Does put me in danger of my own
Con,
weapon,
torpedo room, tube 1 ready.
but it has a 3,500 sensor range. Let's just double check that. What's the Spearfish saying? Seeker range 4,000. Oh, it's a long way. And then the mod 6 is 3,500 yards. Okay, so his torpedoes are on paper better than
Con,
mine.
maneuvering, making turns for 35 knots.
11,000 yards range, and that's not a great range, as opposed to 38,000 yards. Yeah, there's a huge difference in range, and it's a standoff weapon essentially. All right, I'm going to chance something. Let's drop to 5 knots.
Make turns.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Let's go ultra quiet because all the difference it's going to make. This thing does. Yeah, it's fast. Switch to my view. Oh.
Con sonar, noisemaker, bearing 297.
I wasn't holding my breath, honest. Okay, that's very interesting. Todari out. You, sir, have missed a second. Now, it may still circle, and if it circles right now, it's gonna get me. But we appear to have dodged a bullet. And I want to fire. I'm thinking about... I don't need my Todari out.
Con, maneuvering, making turns for 5 knots.
Don't need it out right now. He's making a lot of noise, but he's not going to be running at that speed forever. Okay, let's just... we don't think he can detect me right now, and that's very good. Oh, is that another torpedo? God, he fired 3 at me. Okay.
Con sonar, noisemaker, bearing 301.
So we know he's there. I think I want to turn away. I don't
Come left to 187. Helm aye.
want to eat a Spearfish. Or a Mark 48. That'd be even worse. A follow-up weapon would give away my location. Potentially give away my location. He's making that much noise, I don't think he would hear me. But he'll give away the vector I'm firing from. And he already thinks he can probably detect that muscle. He thinks he knows where I am, maybe. And I'm just turning to go to hide behind the moss. So way to go, David. What's his depth? About 1,000 feet.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 293.
So he's still trying to shake off this Mark 48. Yeah, his targeting was quite a bit off. I think he maybe snap fired at me, but fired 3. So we've turned ourselves perpendicular to him to give my Todari the best chance of picking him up. Now, right now, yeah, we know where he is. I'm firing another one. He's got his backside to me.
Shoot tube 2.
What I'm going to do is send it behind me, so that when he picks it up, he doesn't know where I am.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 298.
When we look at my computer at the bottom right, he's now turned a bit more towards me, but he's minus 45 on the passive sonar. He's not going to hear a torpedo launch. That adds 20 decibels to it. He's turned back away from me again. We're in a good position here. He's defensive with 1, and I managed to avoid 2 or 3 of his.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 298.
I'd love to watch him tackling this Mark 48, but we don't have a good enough return on him just yet. We're gonna dogleg this torpedo. There he is. Okay, I'm gonna watch him. Yeah, can't see him yet, sadly. There he is. That was my torpedo, I thought, just up there. Yeah. So you should have gone deep, sir. It's circling round. Yeah, you could have. Anyway, I'm not going to judge the other captain because he's done a pretty good job of it so far. Switch back to the map. And let's dogleg this thing round. Switch back to me. I'm being nice and quiet, see?
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 302.
You're wonderfully sneaky here. Right. So my second torpedo is coming in. I'm going to assume he is still defending against the first one. What I want to do here is keep him defensive, and the reason for doing that is if his speed's over 20 knots, give or take, he is probably not going to risk firing a torpedo at me because he'll damage his own boat in doing so. So that means it's very hard for him to effectively counterfire me. When he detects this, he's going to think I'm quite a bit further north than I am. He's also going to probably detect the moss, so am I further south, am I further north? Now he may assume that I'm somewhere in the middle, and he would not be wrong in that case. But right now he's not going to detect me. He's making a ton of noise. So, now the clue as to if he knows where I am is his speed will drop. And potentially he might even disappear off my sonar, but he's still doing 32 knots.
Sonar, noisemaker bearing 310.
It's a tight turn, so it's a knuckle and another noisemaker. So that is pretty good news. Still doing 32 knots. So I think I want to bring this torpedo in like so, and let's watch him. Can we see the Mark 48?
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 303.
No, but yes. There it is. Okay. Okay. Now this might get him. I mean, there's the chance it will. If you time it wrong, even though it's a slow torpedo, you time it wrong, you get your noisemaker out,
Con
you
sonar,
knuckle out.
noisemaker bearing 3,
Okay, so-
0, 0.
He's expertly defending against this. The torpedo went straight through the knuckle and the noisemaker. So the idea here is the second torpedo will act as backup. It's very hard to defend against two, especially the initial attack when they're coming from a different side. I'm going to guide this thing in. Let's check the depth. Yeah, it's the good depth for it. Switch to watching him again. So my torpedo is coming in from sort of this angle. I'm going to make it live.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
So it's now acquired him. So now he's in trouble. He has two torpedoes tracking him. Or at least he's got two potentially tracking him. I can't see if the other one is or not. Switch back to map. Okay, so that's interesting. Oh, it's going for the moss. Oh my word. Well, that's disappointing. I'm going to have to manually steer this thing. Good grief. Right, let's try and manually steer. See if we... Yep, okay. So now it's acquired him, and this could be a head-on kill.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 2, last bearing 3, 0, 3.
Wow.
Contact breaking up.
That went better than I thought it could. That was ahead of... That would have made a right mess of that submarine. I guess I killed it completely. I did. Okay, so that is 2 to the Royal Navy and 1 to the US Navy. I'm going to go ahead and switch back to my boat here. Pull in the towed array. And we're going to head to the surface at... yeah. Okay, so 2-1. I think the Royal Navy came out on top.
Passing 800 feet.
I did end up using a more modern boat, so how about I use a latest gen Trafalgar versus a Virginia next. Okay, I think that's what I'll do, so I'll be back. So I realize I gave the Royal Navy a bit of an advantage by putting moss, by preloading one of the torpedo tubes with a moss, and I didn't let myself do that with the US Navy, but I still won that engagement, so I guess I didn't stick to my own rules. Let's see how this goes.
Con sonar new contact.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
I suspect that
Con
this...
sonar new contact bearing
hello.
0, 1, 6. Designated Sierra 2.
I reckon Sierra 2 is my target. No, it's not. Sierra 1 is my target.
Con sonar Sierra 1 is classified as submerged submarine.
He's above the layer. Alright. Did not expect to be able to detect him right off the bat, but hey, I'll take it. I'm good with that. And do I want to go aggressive? I mean, not really, but you don't tend to go that aggressive in a
Passing 100 feet.
modern nuclear boat. Well, that said, you certainly can do in something like the skipjack, where being aggressive in the skipjack is useful. And you've got a lot of torpedoes, tubes like the Seawolf. You can spam a lot of torpedoes into the water, and that's very hard for an enemy to deal with. Now, I wouldn't recommend you throw 8 Mark 48s at a lone alpha class. But some of the outlandish scenarios that I've set up where you've got sort of 15 enemy boats, if you were in a Seawolf, well, it's you can give them 8 problems to deal with as opposed to just 1.
Con sonar Sierra 2 is classified as merchant.
I was just identifying what this was. We won't worry too much about the merchant right now. Let's accelerate time and
Con
let's...
sonar
Good
launch
grief,
transient
so
from Sierra
he's done
1.
it again. He's been super aggressive
Come left 2, 4, helm
and giving
aye.
me a problem to deal with. So I've got to do the same back.
Shoot tube 4. Aye, sir.
And then I'm going to get down, bring my towed array in. I'm going to get myself down because I'm
Make
sitting...
turn.
Con sonar launch transient from Sierra 1. Con
Right.
sonar, launch transient from Sierra 1.
He's firing lots of them. Yeah, I don't blame him. So let's switch to my Trafalgar. Okay, he's steering them, see? Sneaky, sneaky,
Con
sneaky.
sonar, lost contact. Sierra 2, last bearing 0, 2, 2. Contact is in the baffles.
But he's wire guided, so I'm going to go ahead and just
Con, fire control, we've lost the wire.
keep my turn going. I'm going to end up heading pretty much east.
Con sonar, lost contact. Con sonar, no longer cavitating.
This is a nice agile boat. I can get down to the full
Con
depth,
sonar,
Make depth 1969 feet. Dive by.
which I'm going to do. So let's switch to me. There we go. I'm going down as quickly as I can, as fast as and both from the point of view of I'm flank speed, 30 knots already, but also well, not anymore. My dive planes were 30 degrees down. I'm happy to let the autopilot take me down to 1969 feet because I need to get a bit of speed on as well as depth. Does make a difference how deep you dive with regard to speed, but yeah. Now, I don't know where those Mark 48s were.
Maneuvering, making turns for 3, 2 knots.
I'm going to go ahead
Con,
and
torpedo room, tube 4 ready.
steer a little to port, a lot to port. This thing is pretty agile. There we go. And the more to port that we turn, the better the sensor resolution will be on the incoming ordnance. So let's just reset my depth. I'm a little bit under test depth. It'll be okay. Now I expect these torpedoes to still be searching up high, and the Mark 48's got a very nice, almost a lock-down, shoot-down ability. So it'll sit just below the layer. So in this case, it'll be sitting about 140 foot depth, and it'll be searching downwards. Now I'm making a ton of noise, so it's gonna detect me. He's making a ton of noise too. Let's
Rig shift
drop
for
to
ultra quiet.
ultra quiet. Turn a bit more towards him. Oh, see, look at that. Yeah, that weapon
Make
there.
turns for 3, 2 knots. Maneuvering eye.
Oh, lots of weapons. He's spammed me. I'm gonna just try it. I'm gonna try this. I would say, what's the worst that happens?
Come left 2, 3, 0, 3. Helm eye.
The worst that happens is I get a Mark 48 dropped on my head, but I'm gonna head right towards this thing.
Come right 2, 3, 1, 0. Helm eye.
I'm gonna actually watch.
Con, helm, steady course.
Right, so he's probably, or this is probably about 140 foot. Maybe it's above the layer though. Either way, he's over me. He's much less, he's much shallower. I'm going to turn a bit more towards him.
Con, maneuvering, making turns for 3, 2 knots.
You see his buddy to his west-southwest is concerning me right. So that's going to put me right underneath him. Okay, we've lost him on the sensors. And turn back.
Rig shift for ultra quiet.
Let's run ultra quiet. I'm going to aggressively get my speed down again as well.
Back emergency. Maneuvering eye.
What I want to do here is get to 5 knots as quickly as I can. It looks like my Spearfish is engaging something. Whoa, whoa,
Make
whoa.
turns for 5 knots. Maneuvering eye.
Okay. That is not exactly
Come right 2, 0, 0, 0. Helm eye.
expected, but I will take it. And he's, yeah, this Spearfish is tracking him. Okay, let's switch to his view. What's he doing? 35 knots.
Con
Okay,
sonar, noisemaker, bearing 2, 7, 5.
he threw a whole bunch of weapons at me, and they haven't found me. I threw one in his direction, and it's tracking him. Unexpected, but welcome. I'm going to switch to his view. I would like to see this Spearfish attack this this guy.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing
This is
270.
noisemaker. I don't know if that's fooled. Yeah, I think it has fooled the Spearfish. There you
Steady
go.
course.
There it is. There it is behind them. So what he needs to do now is, in my opinion, is get his depth to, if he can, above the layer, and keep it pegged. Because if this Spearfish circles round and has another go at him, which I think it will, or at least tries to detect him, it's possible that if he's above the layer, when he's not, he's just sitting at whatever. Oh, I guess he's still coming up. He's sitting at whatever depth he is, and here comes the Spearfish behind him. Great. So now he's turning away. Okay.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 263.
7,000 yards away, so the Spearfish is not going to detect me, which I'm very appreciative of. I want to fire another one. I mean, kind of yes, because that gives them twice the trouble to think about. I think I'm too deep to fire a Spearfish right now. Yeah, I think I want to get my depth up. This Spearfish is now it's deed. Okay, so I got to get something off. Now I'm in danger, because is he going to detect me? Okay, so his speed's going to start coming down pretty quickly. He can detect me. Okay.
Passing 1,900 feet.
1640 feet, okay. I've got to get up to 1640. Okay, yeah, that's fine. We'll be doing so. Don't need that. Oh yeah, I know you know where I am.
1,800 feet.
It's fine. I don't mind. I'm okay. Because I'm going to be for the off. Because you're going to fire at me. You don't need to do so many pings. You're just annoying me now.
Passing 1,700 feet.
Are we ready? Hello, boys.
Shoot 2-1. Aye, sir.
Right. Number one gone.
Passing 1,600 feet.
I could be aggressive and just make this thing immediately go live. Because he surely would have detected that. Yeah, he absolutely has. Right. Time to go live. This thing will accelerate up to its top speed of 70 odd knots, and why hasn't he fired upon me yet? I don't know, but I'm gonna... Look at it go. I've got another surprise for you too as well, Sunshine. I got a second one that I think I'm going to send your way as well. Okay. It's probably about right.
Shoot tube 4. Aye, sir.
So the reason for the second one is it's twice the issues for him to deal with. It makes life a lot harder. He managed to avoid a Spearfish, so I know it can be done, but they are just lethal. Right, let's get this away from the boat a little bit, like so, and then let's make it live. Watch it accelerate. Let's see. He decided he'd left something further west, so he's pegging it out of there. Do not blame him, sir. In the slightest. Now at a depth I can fire again.
Fire control. Weapon acquired.
Oh. Number one has detected him. What I think is going to happen now, when this torpedo gets a little closer to him, he's going to turn to start his evasive maneuvers. And he will drop a noisemaker, produce a knuckle, turn, change his depth, and all that kind of jazz. Now, either the first or the second Spearfish will then reacquire him sooner than the other one. And even if it's the same time, There's what, 1,000, 1,500 yards between them, give or take. So it's going to be very hard for him to time it. There he goes. He made his first turn. It's going to be very hard for him to effectively
Con sonar, noisemaker, bearing 255.
avoid both of them. Now that said, it's certainly possible. It really is. I want
fire control, weapon acquired.
I want to watch this engagement, but I also want to see what the torpedoes do. So I guess we'll switch to him. Yeah, and let's zoom out a little bit on the map. I might need to zoom in just a tad. So
Con sonar, noisemaker, bearing 250.
torpedoes are coming in from roughly here, and so I can see one, and there's another one following. Now the second one has still acquired him. The first one is turning away. The second one has still got him. Okay, first one's turning back, but it's much deeper, much shallower even. Sorry. So he's avoided the first. The second one is coming up behind him.
Con sonar, noisemaker, bearing 246.
So he's gone ahead and dropped a decoy and a knuckle, and second one is still coming right at him. The first one's now coming around to have another go. They're both spearfish. They don't work.
Fire control, weapon acquired.
They don't work together as a pack. But now he's being attacked from a very similar direction, but by two spearfish. We might get a double whammy here. But either way, he's been defensive for a long time. He's 8,000 yards away from me. Okay, I can see number one.
Con sonar, noisemaker, bearing 241.
So they both skipped. I feel like I want to manually. Yeah, I'm going to manually steer the first one. See if we can get him this way. Okay, I can't, but that's me steering the torpedo. I'm going to go ahead and turn it to port. See if we can tackle him from both sides.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
So many double entendres here. Right, so he's
sonar,
now getting attacked by both.
bearing
Oh,
240.
wow. Such a short range. The first one ran out of fuel. The second one is still tracking him. There we go. Alright, moment of truth. Come on, little spearfish. So you're quite a big weapon. Got ya.
Con sonar, lost contact. Sierra 1, last bearing 241. Contact breaking up.
Right, well, I think what we've proven here today.
1,500 feet.
What's that? 4-1, 4-2? I think what we've proven here today is that the spearfish is a very, very effective weapon. And the reason why I have struggled with the spearfish is because I'm not used to it. So that's telling me I need to do another campaign with the Royal Navy. It's just a shame the early campaigns, to be period accurate, you end up with the tigerfish. Well, I'm going to call it for today's video. This is probably going to be quite a long one, but yeah, I am happy with how well these missions have worked.
Con, torpedo room 2-1 ready.
So, hope that you enjoyed this, you got something from it, and if you have, go ahead and let me know. If you thought it sucked, you can also let me know as well. Feedback is always welcome, because how am I going to make my videos better? Although, selfishly, I make what I want to watch, or what I would want to watch if someone else made it. Have a great one, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it. See you the next time. Goodbye.